Hello, author friends. This is William Searles with the New York Critique. The first thing I'd like to do is once again thank all of you for your support. We're still relatively new to TikTok and YouTube, and I can't tell you how much we appreciate you guys following our page, watching the videos, liking the videos, commenting on the videos, and sharing those videos. It means a lot to us, and I promise you we're going to do our best to continue to provide content that hopefully has a positive impact on your careers and lives as writers. What we're going to talk about today, again, is the query letter. The last video we did, we spoke about things you don't want to do in a query. Today we're going to talk about the critical elements that should be in queries that work together to hopefully create a letter that will grab an agent's attention. A couple housekeeping things. 99% of the cases you're going to want to go 12 point, Times New Roman, and single space. And we strongly suggest you keep it under 300 words. If you work with us, we're going to keep it under 300 words. If you're working with somebody else with your query or doing it yourself, we strongly suggest 300 words or under, because like all good writing, once your point's been made, you want to do it in as few words as possible. I'm going to list the elements real quick that should be in a query letter, then we'll break them down individually. First, you want your particulars, you want your hook, you want your pitch, you want your comp titles, very important, you want your bio, you want to have a little bit of personalization or why you've queried that specific agent, and then you want to sign off. Let's go with the first one. What are the particulars? The particulars are your book title, your genre, and your word count. A lot of authors make the mistake of querying an agent that's not looking for the genre they write. And a lot of authors also new authors make the mistake of losing too much sleep over their title. If you're going to be picked up by a traditional publisher, the title's most likely going to be changed anyhow, but obviously you still want to have a working title in here. You want to mention your genre again, and you want to mention your word count, because agents are getting more and more picky about word count based on the genre. And just a general guidelines to go, depending on what you're writing on. If you're writing general mainstream fiction, adult fiction, 70,000 to 100,000 words is a good area to be in. If you're doing sci-fi or fantasy, those have a tendency to be a little bit longer sometimes, say 80,000 to 150,000 words. If you're doing a YA or young adult, this number seems to be coming down every year. But 60,000 to 85,000 words is a sweet spot there. If you're doing middle grade stuff, 20,000 to 60,000 words. And if you're doing chapter books, 10,000 to 15,000 words. Next element is your hook. Simply put, a hook is a couple sentence blurb that was going to generate interest to make someone want to hear more. An example of a hook would be every morning Robert takes a shower, makes his coffee, eats his breakfast, and kisses his wife goodbye before he gets in his car and goes off to his job as a teacher at a superhero school. I mean, just like that, it's like, wow, what does he do at superhero school? What are the superheroes? Well, who are they? Just something that's going to generate some interest. Next, your pitch. Your pitch is very, very important and has to be in there. And a pitch mentions the items that make all successful books work. And those are the name of your character, what does he or she want, what's stopping he or she from getting it, and what type of changes is he or she going to make to overcome those obstacles to reach their goal. Never forget that. Next, you got your bio. A lot of newer writers get really anxious about their bio, and just be honest, if you don't have any credits, say I don't have any credits, it's my first book. But bios for self-published books are not considered credits because anyone can put out a self-published book. But if you have a self-published book that has sold some copies, a few thousand copies, mention it and bring that up. In addition, include your education, awards, any type of writing credits, whether it's a school newspaper, writer groups you belong of, and any kind of experience that will relate to writing. Finally, second to last, personalizing your query or talking about why you queried a specific agent, and make sure, again, that you're meeting the requirements that the agent wants. In most cases, you're going to have a query, you're going to have a synopsis, and you're going to have 10 to 50 pages of the work. Make sure you address your query to one agent specifically. Don't carpet bomb an agency, a bunch of different agents. One agent per agency. Make sure you spell the agent's name right. Say things like, I read an interview on this magazine, and you mentioned you were looking for this type of story. Mention maybe a book you've read that the agent represents by another author. Maybe you met them at a writing function. And then finally, sign off. You really want to say, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. Any consideration you give me, I'd be grateful for. And sign your name. Game over with. Those are critical elements that go into successful queries. If you have any questions about this stuff, shoot us an email. Stop by thenewyorkcritique.com. Hit on some different tabs. We look forward to hearing from you. Happy writing and have a great day.